Hello guys, my name is the Polish Gamer and welcome to a new video on the channel. It's time for another album review. Yeah, it's been a while since I've last done one of these. Couple of months actually. Well, there are a few reasons for that. Of course, school kind of got in the way and stuff like that, so I just really haven't had much time to make any videos. But this is a special occasion. I mean, come on. Of course, as you guys might know, a few months ago I reviewed every single Nickelback album because of course their new album was coming out this year, and well, that album just came out. Feed the Machine. I have been so excited for this album ever since I heard the first single, the title track, back in February. I mean, when I first heard it, I was blown away. I mean, it was such a big difference from the last Nickelback album, No Fixed Address, which I would rather not talk about. But I was so excited that, of course, I started to review every single Nickelback album up to that point on my channel. And I always said that I would eventually review this one when it came out. And well, it just came out a few days ago. And I must say, I am very happy with this new release. It's not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it's still a Nickelback album at its core, but honestly, it is such a big improvement over the last few albums. I mean, it blows Here and Now and No Fixed Address right out of the water. I mean, I think it might actually even be better than Dark Horse. Honestly, maybe it has to do with the hype, you know, that this is like a new album just came out. But honestly, I would put this right up there with some of my favorite Nickelback albums, honestly. And that's saying a lot. I mean, this is their 9th record, believe it or not. Yeah, the band has been around for a long time. It's been over 20 years now since their debut, Curb. So, man, it's just, but I'm telling you, this is, I really am enjoying this album. Like, I've listened to it so many times already in the last few days. Like, I listened to it like 10 times the day I got it alone. Like, I got it on release, so I was very hyped for that. But without any more further ado, let's dissect every single track one by one and see what all the fuss is about. So bang, let's do this. We start off, track number 1, the title track, of course, Feed the Machine, the first single that we heard back in February. And well, what can I say? It's a heavy track. I mean, it's something that we haven't seen from Nickelback in a long time. And when it first came out, it got a lot of people excited, including me. And while the rest of the album doesn't really follow in the same footsteps as that one track, of course it does here and there, but there's no real other track which is quite like it on the album, which might be a disappointment to some people. But it's like the track itself, like the song itself, if we don't look at the rest of the album, it's a great song, and it's definitely one of the best Nickelback has put out in a long time. Like, I remember when I first started listening to it, I just had it on repeat all day long, and because of that, it did kind of get old quick. So now that I listen to it on the album, it isn't as special for me anymore, but it's still a great track. The only reason I don't really enjoy it as much, I guess, is because I've listened to it so much. We then followed that up with Coin for the Ferryman, which is another heavy track. More than half of the album is heavy, so of course that's a plus point from me. But Coin for the Ferryman, it goes back to, it kind of goes back to your normal Nickelback formula, where the song is more upbeat and more party-like. But at the end of the day, it's still a very good track. I mean, I really like the guitar riff in it. I mean, it's very catchy all the way throughout. There's another great solo, which I didn't mention on Feed the Machine, that also had a pretty damn good solo on it. This one also has a good solo. And just the guitar work on this entire album, I was actually very pleased with it. Of course, it wasn't anything extraordinary, but I mean, it did keep you hooked all the way throughout. It was catchy, and I mean, it's just, it seemed like they really, this is like a theme that was recurring all the way throughout the album. I think that the band tried to really have every track stand out as much as it could musically, and for the most part they do succeed. And Coin for the Ferryman, easily one of my favorite songs on this album. I especially really love the chorus. I mean, it just gets you so pumped up. It's like as soon as as you just hear like the line, "We're smoking dynamite," and then it just follows up with that, and it's just amazing. I love this song. After that, we have the first ballad on the record, "Song on Fire," which was, of course, the second single we got from the album. And at first, I wasn't really the biggest fan of it. I was kind of afraid because, of course, at the time, it was the second single. And since, of course, I was really hoping the album would be super heavy, I was a little worried when the second single was, you know, this lovely ballad and stuff. But now, the more I listened to it, the more I just started to like it, and now it actually is one of my favorite songs on the album, believe it or not. I'm actually a really big fan of it. It's just this lovely track about writing a song. It's a song about writing a song, yeah, songception. And it's just Chad, he's talking about how, you know, he could write, like, he's just struggling to really put all his emotions into this track that he's writing. He's writing lines and ripping them up right afterwards, and basically the thing at the end of the day is, like, no matter what he does, he can write this song all he wants, but it won't matter unless he actually gets to sing the song to the person that it's about. And I think that that's actually something pretty deep in a way. Not really, I don't know, but it has a really nice message behind it, and that's what I really liked about this the song itself. It doesn't, musically, it's not anything too special. It's not like, it's basically your typical Nickelback romantic ballad. We've had a bunch of those before. But it's a good one, and I think it definitely does stand out. It does stand out lyrically, yeah. It does stand out lyrically. I mean, you don't really have all that many songs which are about writing a song. We then have one of my least favorite tracks on the record. Probably not my least favorite, but yeah, "Must Be Nice." This was released as the third single, and when I first heard it, I really liked it. But then, the more I listened to it, it kind of got old kind of quick. I mean, it's a good track, but it's just kind of forgettable, really. I mean, the lyrics are really nothing special. I mean, they're actually kind of laughable. It's basically all these nursery rhymes, and then Chad just put a little bit of profanity here and there, and then it's like, because, you know, they got all these fairy tales, and he's like talking, "Oh, it must be nice to spend each day in paradise, your life's a goddamn fairy tale." And I guess it's a song about, like, those people who are like basically who didn't have to, like, who are successful and stuff and didn't really have to earn it, you know, they're just spoiled and stuff. It's for those kind of people, and it does have like this angry tone behind it, but it's just the nursery rhyme lyrics, you know, because of them, it's just really hard to take the song seriously. It's a good track in my opinion, but like I said, it's just kind of forgettable. It does have a good solo near the end though, but you know, it's a decent track, but still definitely one of my least favorites on the album. The next track is "After the Rain," another ballad, and well, I've heard a lot of people say that it's actually one of the weaker tracks on the record. And I see why they're saying it. I mean, it's just another ballad, you know, it's just one of those inspirational Nickelback songs talking about life and stuff like that, but honestly, I mean, it's actually one of my favorite songs on this album, and believe it or not, I don't know why. It probably has something to do with that chorus. I mean, I fell in love with the chorus as soon as I heard it. I mean, it's just so amazing. Like, you can really hear the emotion from Chad's voice and stuff. It's like, "Everybody says that life takes patience." I almost completely messed up the lyrics right there, but yeah, I really love that chorus, and I don't know, there's just something about it, and I just really like the song. I don't know, like, a lot of people, many people tend to hate on, like, the inspirational Nickelback tracks because they're kind of one-dimensional, and while that is true, I've always had a soft spot for those, and this is another one of those tracks, and you know, some people might not like it, they might call it generic, but I like it. It's definitely one of my favorites. It's that chorus, man. We then followed that up with another heavy track, "For the River." Not much there's not much I have to say about this one. It has a very good solo in it, and again, it has a pretty catchy riff actually. And while the lyrics are not really anything too deep or anything, I actually personally really struggle to figure out what the hell the song is actually about, but whatever. I do like this song, you know, it's always nice to have a heavy track, and it has, like I said, it has a very catchy riff, so that's always a plus. After that, we have "Home," which is easily one of my favorite tracks as well. I mean, Chad himself, he said he wrote it about being unloyal in a relationship, and also he said he wasn't really proud of it, but that the song itself was beautiful, and I have to agree. I mean, it's just, you can totally feel the emotion coming from him in his vocals, and it's always nice when that's always a good thing in a song, when you can really hear that the vocalist is putting all this emotion into the song. I mean, some like a lot of people tend to always one of the reasons why people hate on Nickelback are the vocals, and they say that Chad doesn't really put all that much effort into them and stuff like that. But this is one of those songs which I think prove those people wrong. I mean, just that chorus again, the chorus really makes this song for me, and just the lyrics, it's actually pretty sad. Like you really kind of get to feel what he feels as the track progresses, and it's definitely one of my favorites, just like I said, just because of that. I mean, it's just the emotion in it just really makes it for me, and the guitar work is nice. It's just a very good song overall. There's not a bad thing I can say about it. Of course, some might say it's a generic song, it's just, it's one of those bad breakups, blah 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 stuff that Nickelback has done before. But the reason that Nickelback keeps doing songs like this is because they're good at it. They always do it well. And well, this is another example. It's a great track. It really is one of my favorites, and I really hope that it becomes a single one day. After that, we have a track which many people would not have expected Nickelback to make. I mean, The Betrayal Act 3. And by the way, what the hell is up with that? You have on the album you have The Betrayal Act 3 and Act 1. Like Act 1 is all the way at the end, and first we have Act 3, and then there's no Act 2, and then Act 1 is an instrumental. We'll get to that later. It's kind of weird. I don't know the entire backstory behind it, but I won't really question it. But The Betrayal Act 3, this is a heavy song. It starts out with some acoustic guitar, and you're like, it's really interesting at the start, and then it just develops into this heavy metal song, and you're like, oh my god, they're screaming in the chorus and stuff, and you're like, is this Nickelback, or did I pick up the wrong album? But man, it's definitely is one of my favorites on the record. This is exactly what I wanted Nickelback to do on this album, and I'm very happy with it. I mean, after all that stuff from No Fixed Address, like featuring Flo Rida and stuff, like, it's so good to just hear something like this again from Nickelback. It really reminds me of like songs like Side of a Bullet and stuff like that. It's just so heavy and unexpected, really, from like your typical Nickelback hater. They were like, oh my god, what the hell is this? But yeah, definitely a great track. Just so heavy. Great guitar work on it as well, really. Definitely one of my favorites. After that, we have Silent Majority, which at first I wasn't really a big fan of. I don't know why, it just didn't really stand out to me all that much. But no, I just every single time I listen to it again and again, I just really I just liked it more and more. It started to grow on me, and now it's actually a pretty decent track. It's still, I think, a little forgettable, but at the end of the day, it's again one of the more heavy tracks, and it's a good one. I mean, the song is about being the silent majority and standing up for yourself. What if the silent majority wasn't silent anymore? Standing up for your rights. It's very political, kind of like the title track in a way. And I like that. What I really like about this entire album is you don't really have. It's not really filled with like your typical Nickelback songs about partying, women, and drinking and all that kind of stuff. Like you had on previous records. Like you have political songs like Silent Majority and Feed the Machine, and then you have like your typical romantic songs, but you don't really have all those stupid partying songs. Of course, you have Must Be Nice, which is kind of a weird nursery rhyme like song, which people will definitely make fun of. And then you also have Coin for the Ferryman, which is probably the closest to a party song on this record. But I just really like how the level of writing really went up in this album, and that's one of its biggest plus points for me. But Silent Majority, definitely one of the better tracks. Now, at first I wasn't the biggest fan, but now I definitely dig it. After that, we got the song Every Time We're Together, which is actually a follow-up to Photograph. Already I see many people face-palming and shit. Of course, Photograph is one of those songs that people always make fun of and stuff, and they always hate Nickelback for it because look at this photograph. But this song is actually pretty damn good. I mean, this is coming from someone who actually does like Photograph. I mean, I recently used it as like my song for like a school project, believe it or not. But Yeah, I liked Photograph, and I also like this song. I think I prefer Photograph though. I'm not gonna lie. It might just be the nostalgia, but I prefer Photograph. But this is also a very good song. It's about looking back on all these good memories you have of your hometown with friends and how much everything changed. And and every time you look back at all these memories, it gets it gets better and better, which is pretty accurate. Because the further you move on, the better, the fonder you remember all the good memories, right? And it's a very good song, just like I said, it's a follow-up to Photograph, and you can totally tell. I mean, it's just, it's just a song about reminiscing the past, and, it's a good song in that way. Like, of course, that's a topic that really does, that I really can connect with, because, of course, I moved from my home country, Poland, over here to the Netherlands a few years ago, like in 2009. And it's all I always like. Photograph was one of those songs which always made me connect, which I always could connect with, because I could like look back at my like all the memories I have from my home city and stuff, like all my friends I had there. And this is another one of those kinds of songs which not all people are gonna like it, but I personally do. I think it is one of my least favorites on the album, but that's not saying it's bad. It actually is. It actually just shows how good the overall album is, because this is a pretty good track, but it is still one of my least favorite ones, which does make it a shame that it's actually the last proper song on the record, because of course the next track, The Betrayal, Act 1, which we will get to in just a little bit, is an instrumental. But it is a very good song. I like it. It's another one of those tracks which the more I listen to it, the more I really start to dig it. But yeah, I'm a big fan of it. It's definitely one of those songs which is gonna become a concert staple. I can already see Nickelback playing it and the fans singing along and stuff like that. So yeah, but now let's move on to the final track, The Betrayal, Act 1. Yeah, which is an instrumental, and well, there's not much I really have to say about it. I mean, it's a good instrumental, if a little short. It doesn't even clock in at 3 minutes. Like I said, I'm still a little confused about the Act 1 and the coming after Act 3 thing, and there being no Act 2. But whatever, let's just ignore that for now. It's a good instrumental, but it kind of makes you feel empty, because the entire time it feels like it's building up to something super heavy or something. But then it just kind of ends, and you're like, But it is a good instrumental. I just think that maybe it's not really the best way to finish off the album. Maybe it would have been better to put like a heavy track in there or something, but it's a good instrumental. I'm not hating, but it's just maybe not the best way to finish off the album. But overall, that was the record. Feed the Machine. Right off the bat, I can say it's a huge step up from the last few albums we had from Nickelback. Like, it's a good return to form, and I'm very happy with it. Of course, maybe it's a little disappointing after like the lead single, Feed the Machine. People were expecting like a super heavy album all the way throughout, but instead it's more it's still, like I said at the start of the review, it's a Nickelback album at its core. You got your slow songs, the romantic songs, you got your heavy tracks, you got a song about partying, you also got some of your weird tracks like Must Be Nice. But overall, it's a good album. Of course, I'm a Nickelback fan. And as a Nickelback fan, this record makes me a happy man, because it's so good to have another good Nickelback album. I mean, No Fixed Address was really such a disappointment for me, and this is just, it's so good to have an album like this now, honestly. So honestly, I don't remember exactly what scores I gave every single Nickelback album up to now. Like I really don't remember, because it's been so long, and I didn't really watch those reviews back. But so I can't really compare the score to the other scores, but right now, looking at it, I think this is a solid 8 out of 10. I mean, maybe a little bit more. No, I'll stick to the 8. I think the 8 out of 10 is a good score. It's me not being too biased. An 8 out of 10, because it is a very good album. It's much better than the last few ones, and yeah, it's just all. That's what it is. It's just, I'm honestly just so relieved that this album was not a disappointment. Like, it could have very well been just like No Fixed Address. You could have had Feed the Machine be like the only good track on it, and the rest of the album just be terrible. Just like No Fixed Address was, with you had like some good moments here and there, but overall it was just this huge disappointment. But no, Nickelback put in the effort and they delivered this time, and I am a happy man. But yeah, that was the review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, just to finish off the video quick, I'm just gonna talk about some quick topics. Of course, I haven't been consistent with my uploading lately. Of course, that has to do with school and stuff, but I just really had to get this video out for you guys. It might take a while for me to upload it, because when I'm recording it, it's Monday. Right now, it's Monday. But it might take a few days to upload it because of editing and stuff, you know, and school getting in the way. I'm gonna try to get it up on YouTube as quick as I can, but we'll just see how it's gonna work out. So the one good thing is, though, the school year is slowly coming to an end. I'm gonna have my summer holidays, and then who knows what I'm gonna be able to do. I'm personally planning on maybe doing another Let's Play series or something, kind of like my San Andreas one that I did last year. Like, I've always wanted to do another series like that. But no, we'll just have to see if it works out, you know. Lately, school has just been super hectic, and also I've had something, there's been something off with my throat. I've been coughing a lot, but it's starting to get better. But yeah, it's just I've been very busy, but I hope that I'm going to be able to get back to making videos, especially in this summer holiday. I really want to make a Let's Play again, like, who knows, maybe it's another GTA game, but we'll see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Like I said, hopefully tell me in the comments below what you guys thought of the new album. Did you guys enjoy it as much as I did, or did you guys find it disappointing? I don't know, but I personally think it's amazing. 8 out of 10. Very happy with it, and I'm gonna be listening to it for a long time. I'm actually gonna start listening to it again right after I'm done recording this. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. My name is the Polish Gamer, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.